Next, we come to the advocate and the producer model. This we will understand side by side, maybe sometimes together and one by one. So, the advocate and the producer is a corporate entrepreneurship concept that emphasizes two crucial responsibilities in the organization. That is, the advocate and the producer. The advocate's role entails discovering novel prospects and championing them inside the organization, whereas the producer's role is it involves implementing such prospects and ensuring their successful realization. A seasoned executive or manager possessing extensive industry and business knowledge, together with the foresight and strategic acumen which is required to discern novel prospects. The advocate's primary responsibility is to advocate for and promote innovative concepts, while also advocating for the allocation of necessary resources and support within the organization to effectively implement them. The producer, meanwhile, is usually a middle manager or project manager who possesses the necessary skills and expertise to implement the opportunities indicated by the advocate. Are you getting this point? That they have to implement the opportunities which have been indicated by them, by the advocates. So their role includes translating the advocate's vision and ideas into tangible plans and initiatives. The advocates and the producers, they collaborate to create a potential alliance that can propel innovation and expansion inside the organization. The advocate, he contributes a broad perspective and strategic analysis, while the producer possesses the necessary practical abilities and expertise to effectively execute the task. Organizations may cultivate a culture of innovation and entrepreneurship by adopting the roles of advocate and producer, which are very crucial for maintaining competitiveness in the rapidly changing business landscape of today. So, the advocate serves as an exemplary model when funding is not a crucial concern. We have to take note of this. So, let us go through the advocate model in detail. That is, it says that under this we have the organization has a dedicated department for generating the new business opportunities. However, there is no specific allocation of funds for the development of new business concepts. This division will thereafter offer support to staff to enable successful implementation of their innovative endeavors, their innovative ideas. So, and then this specialized department will also at the same time facilitate the creation of a comprehensive 4 to 8 week, maybe 4 to 8, I'm just giving an example, a strategic outline which will encompass agreements with top level executive. The program team and the facilitator will provide a presentation to the business leaders of that unit in order to evaluate the practicality of the proposal from the perspective of the executives. So, these are the roles these are the roles of the advocates under the advocate model. They are actually generating the ideas, new ideas. They are looking at envisioning the new opportunities and creating and developing new ideas. Now let us come to the role of the producers. What do they do? What are their functions? The function of a producer is a key component in the advocate and producer model for corporate entrepreneurship. This position is accountable. Position is accountable for implementing the opportunities identified by the advocate, turning them into reality, implementing them. That is what is turning them into reality is, and guaranteeing their effective integration into the organization. The producer is actually, they are usually a middle level manager or project managers who possess the necessary abilities and expertise to execute the plans and the concepts which are put out by the advocates. So their primary emphasis is on operations, not on creation of ideas. They just have to implement or execute. And they are accountable for orchestrating all elements of the project or efforts, encompassing the timetables, finances, and resources. So the producers must possess a profound comprehension of the market. Obviously, without this, he cannot execute things, and industry as well, to guarantee that the execution is hand in hand or maybe in line with the organization's overarching strategy. So these are the functions of a producer. Now, there are some key attributes to the producer model shown by companies, such as, for example, IBM, Motorola, etc. So the key attributes they include, that is, the first thing is that they foster innovative concept, promote interdepartmental cooperation because they are executing things, cultivate commercial opportunities, and establish avenues for leaders to explore professional paths beyond their current business division. Efficiently incorporate novel endeavors into existing company divisions. Proficient individuals who possess a deep understanding of the internal political dynamics inside an organization are very crucial for successfully operating this model because it necessitates very effective and dependable communication. So they have to understand, they have to be well versed in these aspects too. But at the same time, the producer model poses, there are certain difficulties which are posed by the producer model. For example, it demands substantial and extensive expenditure over several years. You have to invest lots of money, and that too for a longer gestation of time. It also requires the integration of prosperous initiative into an already existing company division. So these are the four models which explain that how different entrepreneurs can adopt or can follow in order to continue or in order to run their business in a successful way. It is their choice depending upon the circumstances. So a very big question comes up here that which is the best model or which model is suitable for the companies. So to answer this, I would say that the corporate entrepreneurship approach is appropriate for the companies. Maybe I would say that the opportunist It refers to the situation where a newly founded corporation seeks, to harness the untapped potential for creativity that lies within its personnels. Whereas the enabler, uh, it employed to foster companies' innovative and experimental culture. The advocate is employed to expedite the development of well-established departments using a method that is not excessively gradual, under the guidance of steady leadership. Whereas the last, that is the term, that is the producer model, it should be employed when a corporation aims to actively pursue new avenues for expansion, explore innovative ideas, or counteract possible disruptive competition. So maybe these are some of the parameters which can be taken as a guide or as a help to decide that which model to adopt, because it depends upon what are the objectives of that enterprise or company is, what it is looking for, or at what stage it is in. So this was the second part, which in detail explains us the entrepreneurial models that are existing and worked on. The next part, that is the third part of the session, is factors that influence entrepreneurship. This aspects related to access to capital, physical infrastructure, government policies, government supports, and regulations for the new and growing businesses, entrepreneurship education and training, as well as social and cultural factors. They are the general influencing factors of entrepreneurship. And we can understand them maybe one by one. First is the education. The first factor is education, which plays a very, very important role. There is a need for fundamental changes in education process to make it more relevant to the moment's necessities, as well as economic, social, and political settings. More and more young brains should be taught to generate chance for self-employment, designing an outstanding entrepreneurial education course, and promoting entrepreneurship as a subject for the study, even at the school level, are about the are crucial to educating young minds about the benefits of entrepreneurship. Actually, what I want to add to this is that education from the very foundation level is very, very important to help a human being develop an idea. If we want to develop an idea for entrepreneurship, then I think we have to capture them when they are young. Excuse me. That is, capture them when they are young. That is, maybe they are paper entrepreneurship or education towards how to do a business, how to start a business, should be starting from the school level itself, and it should be going to the from the school level and then at the college level also. And the new education policy has already made such efforts to introduce the entrepreneurship paper at large, to teach to the students, not in a theoretical and conceptual way, but also in a practical way. Lots of programs are introduced by the government at different stages, and lots of policies have been framed to provide this entrepreneurial education to the people or around. This helps a lot in developing and promoting entrepreneurial environment in the society. So first, education, let the brains, let the youth understand the advantages of having their own business. That is to become a job creator instead of job seekers. Then second factor that influences entrepreneurship is the legal environment. That is, the law has to protect the weak until they need it. Once you start a business, there has to be, legal boundary walls that supporting you to strengthen yourself. So entrepreneurs in small enterprises, they have very limited resources, and they cannot compete within large firms. So they cannot compete. They have little amount of money, they have very little scales of operations. So the reserve of certain items for exclusive manufacturing in the small sector is one such maybe legislative tools to protect the interest of small scale enterprises. Because if you open everything for everyone, then the big entrepreneurs or the largest scales, they will be occupying all the sectors, all the segments, leaving nothing for the small scale or small businessmen, small entrepreneurs. So law has to come here, intervene, and protect things for small scale businesses. Then next we have the infrastructure, another factor which very strongly influences the entrepreneurship. In actually, to assist any establishment or new business, uh, I think government has to come here to help, and it is already doing through various schemes. They have a very important role to play to provide the land, maybe factory shades at very concessional rates, as well as, an adequate supply of power, water. That is because banking, warehousing, water, coal, any other resources, maybe energy, transportation facilities, raw material supplies, other physical infrastructure, that helps. If you just look at the government policies or schemes where we locate the area as a special economic zones or export oriented units, there what happens there? Those areas are allocated with all, tax holidays. Those nature of industries, they are given the tax holidays which need promotion, which need help to be established. Then there are regions and areas where if you open up your enterprise or if you set up your business, you will be getting lots of tax holidays. This infrastructure provision is provided by the government wherever it feels that entrepreneurial development needs to be boosted up in those regions. So this plays a very important role. The regions where government, for example, opening a hospital with 100 beds, minimum capacity of 100 beds, there you get tax holidays for maybe first 5 years, then another 5 years. So this is when the government needs to promote, or anybody. So the infrastructure facilities has to be provided to them so that they can work efficiently at a low cost initially, and once they get strong, obviously they can be brought into with the competitors. The next factor is the institutional factor. That is, they require advice entrepreneurs, because any new people getting into the business, they need advice on appropriate manufacturing lines. They need somebody to guide them regarding the production method, the raw material resources, maybe the capital, other resources such as technical know-how. They want to understand the tool and equipment. So they are not well versed. If they are not well versed, they need guidance, they need training also on some of the aspects. So they must be aware of the possibilities and difficulties also facing their firm, government restrictions, worldwide economic trends, technological breakthroughs, etc. So there should be institutions developed all around to provide these guidance and these helps. So institution must be developed to keep entrepreneurs informed about all of their interests, as well as to allow them to convey their concerns to the government authorities. Uh, these institutions are of utmost importance. The reason is that what we find, that people have good ideas, they have expertise on the product that they can produce, or the services that they can provide to the community, but they do not know how to sell it, how to bring their products or ideas into the market. They do not know the legal provisions. They do not know how to register themselves. They do not know how to manage the books of accounts. These things, that remaining their weaker point, that leads to their failure after some point. So, I emphasize that these institutions are of utmost importance, that should be functioning at different places, in different cities, maybe at different junctions where it is important to educate and give direction to the entrepreneurs who are laymen or who are new into the field and want to learn, because they have the product and service idea, but they do not possess this technical know-how, or I should call it a soft skill. See, so this is important. Another factor that influence is finance, obviously, the money. That is, if any new enterprise, it starts and then it expands. Obviously, at every stage, they will require suitable fixed and working capital. It's a combination of the capital required and the shortage of financial resources. It will prevent them from it will prevent the potential entrepreneurs from starting the new firm, or maybe expanding expanding to new scales. The issues, they get more severe in capital scarce emerging nations, especially, developing nation or underdeveloped nation, where enterprise and industries, they have to manage with an undeveloped capital market that is not available, and if it is available, then the cost of that capital is too high, maybe because of the scarcity or the underdevelopment of those capital markets. Here, the government of these nations, they must come up to help these entrepreneurs, to guarantee that the capital market should be evolved with newer and more creative capital market instruments, as well as maybe more stable financial institutions. And they have to come up to all around. They have to be in big number. A country like India, a big country like India, needs a huge number of these kinds of institutions providing, or capital markets, offices of capital markets, to provide this facility, because without money, no business can thrive. Next is the procedural factor. What is procedural factor? Actually, the bureaucratic procedures of government agencies, industrial departments as well, and financial institutions, which we need. Without these institutions, these bodies, we cannot survive. But if they have the bureaucratic procedure, then the things are difficult, they become difficult. So here, we can say that these procedures they often severely delay the formation of the new firm. Entrepreneur, they are, when they are starting, they are in a hustle to locate new work, fill out many government, fill out many government agencies for different positions, and fulfill several formalities, filling the forms here and there, imposed by various laws, rules, and regulation. Uh, they should be, simplified. They should be streamlined and simplified, and the numbers should be cut down. Because this would assist new and current businesses if the number of procedural and legal restraints on them are lessened, or an administrative framework is developed to fulfill all their requests and requirement. So we need to reduce the number of procedural formalities. The bureaucratic system has to be simplified. Ways must be thought out that how to, so these factors, because they are big challenges for anybody, and especially the newcomer, into the new entrant in the field of entrepreneurship. It's a big challenge. So this factor influences a lot, and this needs to be worked. The next is the communication. The information gap usually pushes, many entrepreneurial ventures to death. Entrepreneurs are unlikely to prosper in their endeavors without recognizing marketing prospects. Maybe they because they have to know, they have to understand the market well. They need to have full knowledge of the market. They have to understand the competition well. They have to understand the technologies, the technological breakthroughs, and any other changes or any other, updation that is needed to be done. Here, we have they need to understand. For this, they need to learn, they need to update themselves, they need to bridge up the gap. They have to have communication, skill to learn up these things. And here I would say that maybe uh, some entrepreneurial organizations or financial institutions, maybe business consultants, they have an important role here role to play in order to help an entrepreneur to prosper. Because if they keep them communicated, if they keep communicating and helping these entrepreneurs to update themselves, understand the competition, and transform themselves accordingly, restructure themselves accordingly, the things will be much better for them and much easier for them. Another, which is an upcoming and ever changing, which is called information technology and communication, or information technology, we can say, because modern technology has invaded every element of human existence, and we can see it all around us. Even if it is our laptops, our internet, our mobile phones, any and all the softwares, they have really invaded the elements of human existence. So faster ways of communication like email, networking, internet technologies, they have altered, they have changed the definition, they have changed altered the industrial environment by offering or providing maybe rapid and up-to-date information at all levels of management. And management procedures have also experienced major changes in decision making and implementation. So we have to keep ourselves updated regarding these information technologies. We have to learn them up, we have to catch up with them, because if we are not adopting these technologies, we are not learning and not using them in our day-to-day life, we are lacking behind, we are left behind. It's very, because now everything is changing. Everything is converting into e-banking and e-messaging and e-shopping and e-purchasing. So we have to catch up and adapt to the different ways that are introduced through information technologies. Then we find that due to this, there is due to this IT and communication, we also find that things are they have brought a revolution. Networking inside and outside sectors, it has increased sustainably, and the exchange of knowledge and the availability of resources are causing industrial innovations to occur more swiftly than ever before in the history. And we have to keep pace with these rapid changing environment. We have to, otherwise, again, I would say that we will be left behind. Whatever is changing, you have to be aware of that, you have to learn that, you have to adopt that, and we have to, these revolution brought about by ITs have to be developed and learned by us. Next is the scale, the large size. We find that machines are replacing human beings. And therefore, this is leading to larger scale productions. So the industries are witnessing tremendous expansion in automation and using computerized production and process control. The demand for goods and their geographical reach drive large-scale enterprises and services, and the size benefits from economies of scale in manufacturing, there's a scale in manufacturing and marketing has to be improved. Economies of scale has to be adopted, because if you don't have economies of scale, you won't be able to playing well in the market, and you cannot cater to the large market size and large. So, and the other factors like R&D, we have to, companies, they invest in extensively. We find that these days company, without this they cannot survive, and therefore they are extensively investing in R&D efforts to produce new items and processes that compete in the global economy. And finally, we have the stakeholders, that is today's stakeholders are more up to date. They have, they are more knowledgeable, and they receive up to date because of internet. They have full information and up to date information about industry trends and the advancement of certain industries in which they are interested. And therefore, as a consequence, the stakeholder is aware, allowing him to become more active. And if he becomes active, you have to become more active if you are an entrepreneur, in order to take care of the stakeholders who are associated to your organization. And lastly, globalization. Yes, we work in an open climate. We are not restricting ourselves to, one city or one state or one country. No. Today, it is open climate with no territorial boundaries. Everything is global. As a result, competition has expanded tremendously. And therefore, the companies, they must be, very competitive in their quality, in their pricing and delivery to compete in today's market. Because if you do not keep yourself, updated at a global level, that is what is happening in USA, what is happening in UK, because your consumers, your stakeholders, all are very much aware of what is happening, and what they want. So in order to keep that, keep yourself, live, and you have to earn more profits, to establish yourself well, you have to have managed with these factors which influence the entrepreneurship to a large level. Now, after understanding the three parts, we come to conclude this session. So, beginning with a business may be both rewarding as well as hard. So, entrepreneurs who understand and handle the entrepreneurial process have a greater chance of success. So, from inspiration to expansion, each stage involves precise planning, execution, and adaptation. We have discussed everything in detail. Remember to be persistent, seek advice wherever you think you need that, and welcome innovations as you transform your concept into a profitable organization. And during the journey, entrepreneurial models play a key function. Don't forget that. They play a key function that an entrepreneur will consider seriously. Furthermore, numerous elements might have a positive as well as negative influence on the establishment of an entrepreneurship. Positive impacts create facilitative and favorable conditions for the growth of entrepreneur, whereas negative influences inhibit the formation of an entrepreneurship. So, to be successful as an entrepreneur, one has to comprehend everything in detail and at large. Thank you.